In Weddington, Arkansas, in the Illinois River watershed, Ron Morrow and his family own a grass-fed beef operation. His farm is part of a partnership that provides meat for Ozark pasture beef. Like many local farmers, Morrow's property has been in his family for many years. Morrow runs about 200 head of beef cattle and 150 head of sheep on his farm as a part of his LLC. He grazes his steers and lambs on grass and sells them at market weight as grass-fed meat to local customers. Morrow's farm is one of 9 University of Arkansas discovery farms across the state. Discovery farms are privately owned farms on which research and demonstrations regarding the environmental impact of agricultural production are conducted. Discovery Farm research and demonstration projects on his farm are specifically funded by the Walton Family Foundation. Andrew Sharpley, co-chair of the U of A Division of Agriculture's Environmental Task Force and Discovery Farms program, works closely with the farmers on addressing environmental issues that deal with water quality and nutrient runoff. Here he explains the goals of the Discovery Farms.
We got involved in a program called Discovery Farms to help work with farmers and to look at the losses of what was actually happening on their farms, and then if there was an issue, implement some conservation measures that would hopefully reduce those losses, and then document that. So that was just something that's been lacking with farmers and what they have been doing. It's just difficult to document it, and since you can't do it, it's been held as a little bit of an issue within the farming community. We know that farmers talk to other farmers, and although extension and research, the university has a lot of networking going on, the best way to get a message out is from one farmer to another. And so this part of this program also is having farmers work with other farmers and promote practices, and then they can see it working on a farm or a neighbor's, and they're more likely to adopt and change some practices. On the Morrow Farm, we are working with Ron Morrow, who has retired a few years ago from NRCS, and he's an advocate of rotational grazing. And so this one's a little bit different. We got funds from the Walton Family Foundation, and we're looking at the benefits of rotationally grazing cattle on his pastures. He believes he can minimize or even do without fertilizers by just moving his cattle around on his pastures. And we also want to look at the water quality and also the benefits to soil health. There's a lot of emphasis right now with our NRCS to promote soil health, which will improve a lot of different things, and productivity as well as water quality.
The research projects on Morrow's farm focus on the benefits of rotational grazing on soil health and water quality. Their research is determining how grass benefits the soil and water quality by holding nutrients. One way Morrow protects his soil and the quality of the surface water on his farm is by not fertilizing his pastures and being careful to not overgraze. Morrow, who has a professional background in grazing management, explains why he is interested in hosting a discovery farm on his property.
I really like this program from the standpoint of being able to collect data on things that I think that I'm already doing. I'm not necessarily into the program to learn how to do things, but to show how to do things, and I think that's the important part of it. I really like the fact that we use whole farm data management, which I think is really important to people.
Like other discovery farms, researchers collect data to see which nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus and eroded soil as sediment are passing out of the field and into surrounding surface waters like creeks. The research on Morrow's farm is looking at the benefits of carefully rotating cows on his pastures to reduce the dependence on fertilizers and to lessen nutrient runoff. To test the nutrients in the water that flow through the creek after leaving the fields, Morrow is host to 3 Discovery Farm surface water collection stations. 2 of the stations are positioned beside the creek and collect the water that flows through the creek during periods of heavier rainfall. The other is positioned at the edge of the field and has a flume that guides water through the station. What is especially unique about the Morrow Farm projects is that researchers are also examining soil health in addition to water quality. The researchers monitor the organic carbon in the pasture soil, which is there as a result of a process known as carbon sequestration. Carbon sequestration deals with how carbon dioxide is stored via agricultural and forestry practices. It is taken up by trees, grasses, and other plants through photosynthesis and stored as carbon in the plants surrounding the soil. Carbon sequestration is important because it helps offset the emissions of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, but it also enhances ecosystems by improving the soil and water quality. For instance, increased carbon in the soil as organic matter enables the soil to retain more rainwater, making it more drought resistant.
One thing unique about the Morrow Farm is we're actually looking at the soil health. We're taking yearly soil samples to see what kind of changes in organic carbon we see. We're hoping to see that his grazing and nutrient management style will actually improve the organic carbon we find in the soils.
With sound research underway, Morrow is eager to see what the results will be. He is excited to use the findings to help educate other farmers about why rotational grazing is beneficial to soil health and water quality.
I don't anticipate doing any management changes on the farms, but I do think that we can use the data collection and the data collected to help present the information to people as to how they can manage their farm.
For more information about Arkansas Discovery Farms, visit discoveryfarms.uark.edu.